I'm completely impressed with this episode in nearly every way, shape, and form, and it's because of how much this episode moved me. And I know the anime community really likes to throw around the word feels, like, it hit me right in the feels. And I don't think the phrase is trash and can't be used. I think in this case it definitely applies, but it's been overused so much that I think people have grown numb to it because they think everything is a feels moment, when really it's just a reaction. I think the writing in episode 10 of Violet Evergarden absolutely deserves that phrase. It absolutely pulled on my heartstrings, and it didn't feel like it was a cheap grab or something that was just completely not thought out. It was perfectly executed, and I had a pretty good idea where this episode was going. I didn't quite get it. Like, I thought the idea of the letters at first was going to be she was writing letters because obviously she looked like she was on her deathbed. There was a lot of signs in the episode, but it gave me the impression that she was writing letters from multiple people, and for whatever reason, I didn't clue into the fact that all the letters were going to be for Anne, this little girl who's going to lose her mother at a very young age. And I didn't really realize it until the moment where Anne confronts her about, like, why are you wasting your time when you should be spending it with me, the time that you have remaining, and then I realized, oh hell. The reason she's wasting 7 days is she's going to make letters that's probably going to come to her on her birthday. And I immediately clued in at that moment because I've seen something similar. Now, I don't know the person who had this happen, but I saw on Twitter, I think like a few months back, there was a girl who was posting that apparently when her father died, he was diagnosed with some sort of disease, I think it was cancer, and he paid for a bunch of flowers for years down the line. I think she got him for like 8 years. And every year on her birthday, she got a letter, or basically like a card and a bouquet of flowers. And it completely moved me, and it completely moved me when I saw it done in Violet Evergarden. And typically, I can't get moved by anime to this point that I actually have tears in my eyes because I know it's fake. I can't get so connected that I can really shed that emotion. And I think it helped because it was a child that was experiencing this at first. And the only anime that ever really pulled on me so much was Anohana because I had like 10 episodes to really get invested on the emotional impact. And that's why I'm so surprised with episode 10 of Violet Evergarden. One episode pretty much brought me to the same emotion that 10 episodes of Anohana did, and that impresses me. The build-up in this episode was just really interesting. Having a little girl look at Violet as an actual real doll, thinking she's a real doll, it was cute, it was funny, and obviously you knew the mother was dying and she was kind of preparing for her deathbed, but I really liked the moments with the kid, kind of like almost wanting to shoo her away because she wants time with her mother, but at the same time kind of embracing it, and seeing Violet actually play house, actually kind of have a childhood, because she never had that. And it was really interesting to see Violet for the first time really interact like a kid because she never really had that ability. She was always just a soldier. And there's like a moment where Anne says, oh, you're a person, you're not actually a doll, you're not a toy, you used to always get played around with. Perfectly represents her life because she was just a toy. She was a weapon for people to use. And now she is a person. And I love how it kind of ties back to the past 9 episodes in her build-up. It's that emotion, it's that fear and that just despair in the characters' eyes. You can hear the trembling in the voices. Like, the voice acting was fantastic. Seriously, I was so impressed by just the sheer range, not just from Violet, but just this mother and this girl Anne. It was just so hard to watch. It really did make me feel like I was watching something real. And for like the last 10 minutes of this episode, I was convinced. I was just so glued to the screen. I was getting teary-eyed watching this episode because the writing sold me so much on this being a real deal. And I had to pause quite a few times as the letters were being delivered. Like, she's 8 years old, she's 10 years old. I had to stop because it was too much at times. I really bought into the idea that this truly was a mother who loved her daughter so much that she planned 50 years of letters so they could go out on her birthday. And it hurt me even more when I saw Violet break down and cry. She's really expressed, she feels like a person, she isn't a doll anymore. And to see her break down feeling like I had to hold back tears this entire time. Seriously, the writing to the show I think is spectacular. I know there's naysayers, but this episode encompasses exactly what I love about this show. Like, last week could have been a conclusion for the show if they really wanted to, but there's still so much more to do with Violet's character as well as Gilbert, things like that. And this episode, holy hell. Like, at first I'm just like, okay, Violet's going, there's a girl, we're just gonna play house this episode, and they quickly showed me who was boss. I was, at the beginning, having my doubts, is like, I don't know if this is the proper episode to come off of episode 9, such an emotional episode. And no, they completely upped the feels in this episode, and damn was it good. The animation, the soundtrack, the voice acting, hit it out of the park. Seriously, I bought into this being a real mother-daughter story, not some fiction BS. I love it. Like, seriously, I don't know if they'll be able to up the feels in the remaining 4 episodes, but I love this episode. Seriously, this might be my favorite episode of this season, hands down. Out of all the anime I'm following in the winter 2018 season, this one pulled on me the most, and I absolutely adored the writing. Feels can be a very cheap way to get the viewer emotionally attached, but Violet Evergarden completely hit it out of the park and made this something that felt believable and a true love story about a mother wanting to make sure that her daughter, who she was going to leave in life far too quickly, could still feel her love 50 years down the line. Let me know your thoughts. What did you think of episode 10? How did you feel with the episode? Let me know down in that comment section below. Before you leave, smack that like button, share your support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.